today's video is so exciting for me because we are sharing Rare Beauty. I picked up quite a few things from this new launch. I'm so excited about it because there are 48 shades of foundation, so it's a very, very inclusive range. All of the packaging is really, really beautiful, and I just like the overall feel of this line because the name Rare Beauty, it is about celebrating what makes you you, what makes you rare and special. And this line, everything really works to enhance your beauty. It's really not to mask it. It's not like heavy layers of foundation that it's like super full coverage, which you will see. I'll show you what the foundation, what everything looks like, but I've got almost an entire face of Rare Beauty on. I picked up the foundation, one of the blushes, one of the highlighters, two of the lip souffles, and the balmy, it's more like a lipstick, but anyway, we'll get to all of that. Things that I skipped. I did not get the concealer because I feel like if I'm going to use a concealer, I want it to be really, really heavy duty, full coverage, and this one is considered more sheer, so I skipped that. And then I also skipped the liquid liner because some of the swatches that I saw looked kind of patchy, and it also transferred on some people, which I'm like really not into, so I skipped that. I did not get the brow product because I don't like the shape of that. I want a really, really precise pencil, and so it might be a great brow product, but I'm just telling you from my own preferences, I didn't want to try that because I don't want to waste a product that I'm not going to be into using, because I don't like the shape of that. I like really, really precise, bright brow hairs if I'm going to use a brow pencil. I didn't try the brushes, didn't try the sponge. Personally, if I'm going to use a primer, I want more of like a matte finish or something like the Tatcha that's going to give me a really, really smooth, blurred out kind of appearance, and the one from Rare is more luminous, so I skipped that. And there's also like a facial mist. I'm just not really into those, so I didn't get that either. But I did get a lot of lip products, a lot of the skin products, and I can't wait to share this with you. And the reason that this video is how to get the French girl aesthetic with Rare Beauty is because I really feel like Rare Beauty embodies that kind of French girl aesthetic that a lot of people go for nowadays, where it's really just you, but a little bit better, a little bit of color, a little bit of something, embracing your quirks, which again is all about what Rare Beauty is all about. And I really enjoyed this line. So let me show you what it's all about and how to get the look. So the first product I'll be showing you is the foundation. And as you can see, it's a very soft, liquidy serum kind of consistency. I got the shade 230N, which is just a tiny bit lighter than my shade match on Sephora. I wanted to pick up something that I could wear more through the winter, and I feel like this is a really good color for me. What I like about this is it really melts into the skin and gives you like a second skin finish. It's not super flat or matte. It's not overly dewy or radiant. It wears really, really beautifully and looks like skin all day long. And I think probably one of my favorite things about it is, like I mentioned before, I didn't pick up the concealer, but the formula of this foundation is buildable, and when you build it up, it doesn't get cakey or chunky, and I don't really feel like it settles in fine lines very much either, which is really nice. You almost don't even need a mirror to put this on if you have the right shade. So like I mentioned, I like to build it up a little bit like concealer. So I'm just dotting some extra under my eyes and around my mouth and my nose where I have a little bit of extra redness. And as you can see, it just melts into the skin so easily. And it builds up really beautifully too. And because of the finish of this, like I said, it's not really matte or radiant, but it's more skin-like, and I feel like even under my eyes where I have a little bit of that hollow, it kind of pops it out a little bit the way that a brighter concealer would. So if you're someone who is looking to streamline your routine and you don't want a ton of different products, I highly recommend trying out the foundation and using it like a concealer. It's not going to give you that super heavy duty coverage, but we're going for a French girl aesthetic here. And a lot of those girls, they embrace whatever kind of under eye circles they've got going on. They don't recontour their whole face. They just kind of work with their own face. And that's something that I love to do in my beauty routine. So the next product that we're going to move into, I'm very excited about. So this is the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Happy. There are two different types of finishes for the blushes. There's a dewy finish, which Happy is a dewy finish, and then there's matte finish blushes too. I wanted to get a shade that would mimic a natural skin blush as if I had been running, and this kind of cooler tone I feel like works really well with what my natural skin does when I get flushed. So you'll notice I do the tiniest little dots of this stuff. I think a lot of people, they seem to kind of struggle with this because the blushes are so heavily pigmented. You only need the tiniest amount and then to build it up. And I think so many people are so used to swatching on like giant swatches of product to get what they want. But with this, you need such a tiny, tiny amount. And I feel like it will last for a really long time because of that. I love the finish of this because it makes my cheeks look really healthy and plump and dewy. It blends out so easily and you can build it up if you need more. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of powder to set down the face before we put on our next product, which is the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer. I got the shade Mesmerize. This actually reminds me a lot of a Glossier highlighter that I really, really loved. Some people said that they felt like this was really metallic, but the way that I apply it, I don't feel like it looks metallic at all on my cheeks. I'm showing a really heavy swatch here so you can get an idea of kind of what it looks like. But because of this shade and the way that it blends out into my skin, it just looks really glowy and fresh. So you'll see I'll put a couple of dots on the high points of my cheeks. And I also really love the way that this highlighter, it plays with the other products too. It really just kind of melts in seamlessly with the blush. And you can build it up, and much like the blush, start small and add a little bit more. It's just so beautiful. And this color I really love for my skin. I really agonized over what shade I wanted to get of this, but I'm really, really happy with my choice going with Mesmerize. And as you could see too, all of these products have a very angled doe foot applicator. It can get a little messy on the cap. Personally, I'm pretty tidy with my products, so this isn't like a huge issue. But I find it very, very easy to use and very easy to apply. Now I'm just going to quickly fluff through my brows with a little bit of a brow gel. Nothing too perfect here. A little bit of eyeshadow. A little extra color and definition around the eyes, but again, I want to kind of keep the focus on Rare. I'm going to curl my lashes, throw on some mascara, really try to keep the rest of my makeup pretty minimal so we can keep the focus on Rare Beauty. So now we're going to move into the lip products, and this is the Dewy Lip Balm in the shade Empathy. You can see I've already got some other swatches on there. We'll go through those in a minute. But Empathy is like a really beautiful kind of rosy mauve color, and I felt like I could use this as something that's a little more pigmented than my own lips. And it just, I love this color. It's really easy to throw on, looks very polished and put together, kind of wakes up the face a little bit. And you can see I'm just using my finger to smudge it out a little bit so it's a little bit softer and more blurred looking. Now we're gonna move into the lip souffles, which I am kind of weird and I don't really love matte lip products, but I was so intrigued by the texture of these because people said that they felt almost kind of silicone-y. So Energize is like the Energizer Bunny Pink, and then Inspire is this beautiful bright tomato red. So I'm going to start with Energize, and I'll show you on my lips what this looks like. I will say out of the two colors, this is the one that I don't love as much, and it's only because the opacity of this almost has like a white undertone, I guess. And so if your lips are a little bit dry or you have any flaking, it kind of clings to that, and I feel like it kind of highlights the texture. And I almost feel like it can pull a little chalky on its own. It's not horrible, but it's just not my preference. So what I found that I like to do with it, I wipe it all off. It actually leaves a very pretty stain on the lips. But let me show you what I like to do. I like to get a little bit of my Lanolips Balm. This is the Banana Balm. And I put this on my lips so I have a nice kind of dewy base. And then I like to take Energize and put a few little dots into my lip balm and kind of smoosh that in. And the color is so beautiful and fresh, and it eliminates that kind of chalky, dusty appearance on any dry patches on the lips. And I just really like how this looks all together. We're gonna wipe that off though, because I have something I can't wait to show you. I'm also gonna just kind of foundation around my lips again to cancel out any color. So this is the shade Inspire, and as you can see, it's that bright, beautiful tomato red. And these are so easy to work with. Like the shape of the applicator, it's kind of a doe foot, but it's also kind of squished and flat. So you can really get in there and shape around the lips. You can apply a lot of color, but then it's also thin enough that you can really kind of clean up the overall shape if you want it to be more crisp. I want it to be more of a diffused, kind of blotted look, almost like you've been kissed. It's just very soft and effortless, and these formulas work so well for this type of technique where you make it really blurry and soft. I have to say too, this is probably one of my favorite matte lip formulas, because even though it does dry down and it doesn't feel as like balmy, it also doesn't feel really, really dry the way that most matte lips do. And the nice thing too is that even as the actual lip product wears off, you're left with a bit of a stain, as you could see with Energize and especially with Inspire, because it's so much more bright. I have no idea what just fell, sorry. Anyway, this is kind of my first impressions rundown on Rare Beauty. Oh yeah, don't forget, you don't want to get that all over your teeth. Use your finger. But I have really, really enjoyed this line. I always feel like myself, but a little bit better, a little more put together. And it gives you that effortless kind of French girl aesthetic, which I am all about. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like it, and check me out on Instagram.